Hello everyone, I'm Alan To of Hong Kong. I used to study environmental life science at the university in Hong Kong, and after graduation I spent a few years studying and doing research on marine ecosystem, particularly work on the groupers, which is a very valuable species of fish in Hong Kong. And after that I joined NGO and work on the seafood in the NGO to promote sustainable seafood in Hong Kong. Seafood is my choice of my work because I love eating seafood, and in addition to this, I also see the problem and challenge the opportunity regarding seafood in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong people like me love eating seafood. Most recent research tells us that on average, each Hong Kong people annually, which means each year, we eat about 62 kilograms of seafood on average. This makes us number 3 among all Asian countries. We are only the third within Asia countries, and the second one is Japan, and the first one is the Maldives. So we eat a lot of seafood in Hong Kong. And other than that, we also eat a lot of seafood sourced worldwide. For example, we are now sourcing seafood from over 150 countries worldwide, like cod, you're eating cod from the US, gilduck from Canada, abalone from South Africa, coral trout from Australia. So therefore, our impact in Hong Kong, our consumption pattern would significantly affect the global fishery resources in many places. This is very important not only regarding to the supply of seafood, because if we eat a lot of seafood, given that marine resources is a finite resources, there's limited resources from the fishery, from the marine ecosystem. Therefore, if we continuously eat a lot of seafood, that's not going to make sense because we'll run out of seafood anyway. And in addition to this problem, the importance of sustainable seafood is that seafood not only is food to many people, it's also the main source of income. Like for example, the people within the Coral Triangle, which includes 6 countries such as the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Island, and the Timor-Leste. People there, over 120 million people there, depends on fishery resources as food and income. Therefore, a depletion or unsustainable practice of fishery resources not only will have a shortage of seafood to Hong Kong and many other countries, it also leads to the decline, a damage to the income and food sources of people in these countries. We in Hong Kong have a lot of choices. We don't eat seafood, we have beef, we have pork, we have lamb, but in these places, for these people in the Coral Triangle, they don't have a choice. The main income and the source of food is seafood. Therefore, sustainable seafood in Hong Kong is a very important issue. My work in Hong Kong focuses on sustainable seafood, and one of my duties is to work with different stakeholders, like the seafood suppliers, like the caterers in Hong Kong, to try to initiate business engagement to gradually change their seafood supplying behavior. For example, they can consider to provide more sustainable seafood to consumers in Hong Kong. This is one part of the work. However, another part of conservation I think that's important is education, because the people when they're young, like the primary school, secondary school, or students in the kindergarten, they are easily influenced through education, and therefore if we have very good education, like the environmental education, we can easily influence how they make choices in the future, and this is crucial for the sustainability of all the resources in the world, including the seafood. In terms of the seafood work in Hong Kong, sustainable seafood work, I think both sides of both the demand side and the supply side has to work very hard to push for a sustainable seafood movement in region-wide, and particularly means Asia Pacific, because in Hong Kong we advertise, we promote sustainable seafood, we ask people to consume sustainable seafood, we also ask restaurants and suppliers to source sustainable seafood. This is one hand of the solution. On the other hand, we also need to focus our work with, for example, let's say to improve the fishery in the source countries. For example, in the Coral Triangle, they have a lot of trade in the live reef fish, groupers, hammerhead wrasse. If we can help them to build up their fishery, to improve their fishery management, net the depleted fishery to improve in terms of status, become healthy, then at the end, both sides will win. The consumer in Hong Kong can eat seafood from Asia Pacific. Also, the people in Asia Pacific can benefit from the business from Hong Kong and also a long-term use of the resources. So therefore, a work on demand side and the supply side within Asia Pacific is very important. Actually, I feel optimistic about our future because, taking an example like the bluefin tuna, 5 years ago, no one in Hong Kong realized the problem, the conservation status of the bluefin tuna. But after campaign, after education program, nowadays, whenever they read coverage, newspaper report on bluefin tuna, they think about bluefin tuna. Also think about the conservation status. It is a overfished species or threatened species, and they should stop eating it. I think people, when they get to know about the problem, they know the simple solution, they will try to understand and then act. So I feel optimistic about our future.